Hello, everyone, and welcome to Office Hours, our weekly get together where we talk about all the things going on in Butterfly's AI, from bugs to fixes to basically what we've got going on and what the community is going to be looking forward to. I do apologize about last week's Office Hours being short, and I must apologize again. This week's is likely going to be similarly short, as there is quite a bit going on in the background. This week we had an issue crop up early on, I believe Sunday, where image gen just wasn't working properly, and the developers have just pushed a fix to allow images to go through in most of the platforms. I've seen it working for Refine, I've seen it working for Poke, I've seen it working for Post and Past, and I've seen it working for direct messages. We also just released Premium on the platform. Everybody should be able to see a little present icon in their overall menu and in their overall settings. This premium should be allowing you a day free trial when you first sign up before you make your decision. However, I would hold off on that for just a minute, because there are a few little issues that we are working out as it has just been launched. Roscoe, I'm actually in your boat. I don't see it either. And that is yet another issue that the developers are working on. Give me 1 second. I just signed up for the trial, so let's find out. Huh? And if it doesn't, then it could be the trial that is bugged. I don't know just yet. Yes, it does give 100 pokes. So I can confirm that it gives you your 100 pokes, and the additional pokes that I have are what I had on top of the 100 that it gives. Give me 1 moment. But yeah, I am actually really excited for the premium, because once it's properly working, then we should actually be able to have images and direct messages again. I mean, hear me out, King. If I could share, I absolutely would. Like, absolutely. But unfortunately, I am just going to hoard my 150 pokes to myself and just create a mass load of content. But yeah. The developers are looking into the issues that people are experiencing with the premium, from not being able to see the web page all the way to some of the features not working as promised. So I will be working closely with them to make sure that all the features get released properly. Don't worry about that. Oh, no, I totally hear you there, okay? I really do. I want those advanced models as well. I just don't think that those advanced models are going to be here yet. Mainly because I haven't even heard about what they would be. So, as it states on the pricing page, and what Kingslayer just mentioned, is that We have a couple of features coming soon to the premium, which, by the way, is $9 a month. You can cancel at any time. It includes 100 daily pokes and images and direct messages, and it also includes NSFW images in chat on web. This change was made to allow people basically to prove that they're 18 as well as get the feature that they were looking for back. We aren't allowing it on the mobile platforms at the moment due to still trying to get back onto the Google Play Store, who has some very strict ideas about what is and is not allowed in direct messages. We have a couple of features coming soon. Super pokes for video generation. I have not heard yet as to when those will be working. As well as there are plans for more advanced chat models that, would have better context and a lot more just, I don't know. It feels the current chat models that we have are pretty lagging behind the current state of things. On web should be for mobile web as well, yes. And yeah, I actually agree with you, Ethereal, that it is pretty cheap for what it gives, and once it gives video, it definitely will be one of the cheapest video producing models out there. Because currently, one of the places that I use constantly for video just upped their subscription from $15 to $25 a month. So yeah, video generation is getting really expensive. Yeah, it is part of the models, like issue with models is what is being fed into them. Thank you, Darvo, for saying that. I do believe that it is worth supporting us as well. But yeah, it's just with the way that chats are, right? Roleplay is better overall for sticking to my characters, but it breaks out of its context a lot more often than the realistic model. The realistic model has some pretty heavy emphasis on how people tend to actually text in real life, which removes a bit of the personality of a lot of my butterflies. So I tend to stick to the roleplay model, and I will definitely be letting people know when we have word on what the advanced models will be. As for what else is going on this week, well, quite frankly, a lot of it has been focused around image gen. Like, as I stated since Sunday, image gen has not been working properly. We should be seeing that improve within the next few hours, and please don't hesitate to ping or direct message or send any sort of support ticket out if you are still experiencing issues. Other than that, they have been, working on getting the premium up and running, as well as getting the images and direct messages just in general back up and running. Those should be working again. As a reminder, everyone has access to safe for work images in direct messages, and as a free account you have a limit of 10 images per day in direct messages. I hear you, Kingslayer. I do. And I also kind of want premium, but I also kind of want to wait for the rest of the features. I understand that. Let me see. All right. I mean, maybe one day. It would be nice, honestly, to have, just a simple entry-level type of tier. However, I do like that they just released a base for everyone plan. More art models would be fun. Great question. I would love to know what happened to Nectar as well. Um, Especially because Nectar got supplanted with XP, and then it seems like we did nothing with XP, right? However, there are some ideas being tossed around on what XP could be done with, what XP could be used for, from getting more daily pokes on a free account to even possibly video generation or other things like that. It is a bit up in the air. Yeah, and I have been mentioning that the ability to gain XP being mobile exclusive will hamper a bit of the experience. Um, the entire daily challenge being a mobile exclusive, honestly, to me hampers the experience because I forget about it so often since I'm usually on web. Um, yeah, I know, I know. And I feel you, Ethereal. I really do. Trust me. But yeah, a lot of the updates that at least I am trying to communicate from you guys to them are basically about parity, you know? Getting things the same on the web as they are on mobile and vice versa, as well as just really getting things working. That doesn't mean that I'm ignoring anything that you guys are saying. It's just that's what I'm trying to prioritize at the moment. If you think there's something else that maybe should be prioritized, feel free to just chat with me. I'm not really this scary person as much as the server makes him out to be. I mean, okay. I hear you with the new anime art models. Hi, Avery. And I swear, I will find you and I will cut your waifu pillows because that is just nasty. No more flashbangs. I am happy dark mode is back. But yeah, there's not really a whole lot, like I said, going on other than just bug fixes and things that are taking a little bit of time. I'm super sorry that it is going to be a shorter office hours this week. Is there anything that anybody would like to talk about in the meantime, though? What do you mean by that, Ethereal? What do you mean by have they stopped working on character creation? I mean, okay, Darvel, that is fair point. Fair point. Well made. Most of the time I feel the chatbot are more effective than I really appreciate that. And honestly, it does feel kind of similar, at least for the simplicity of getting the characters up and running in a believable manner. Once things, start progressing, then it gets a little less believable. Um, Getting rid of the word bubbles and flipping the text before generation. Oh, right, the creation flow. Um, yeah, I'm not too sure about where that has been paused or anything going on with that at the moment, honestly. Um, I will ask after office hours, and I will get back to you about that. Because I do agree that it being a image first and then text generation, like for the images in particular, is very bad because you waste one of your opportunities at that moment. You know? So, oof. I mean, it already is 9. So, However, okay, hear me out, Ethereal. It's 10 if you use them exclusively for rerolls. It's 9 if you're creating new characters. Does that make sense? It shouldn't be that way. It should be 10 for both, which means that the text should really be first. But, yeah. Definitely hear you there. The UI needs some improvement in general. I'm still very, very tired of the whole centerline theme, especially on a very wide display. Yeah, I hear you. Right. You should be able to improve a profile picture over time, especially with feedback from posts and the ability, like, I still say there should be an ability to select a post as a profile picture. That just makes sense, right? Because not only would you give the seed a post, what do you mean seed a post? Are you talking about the numerical seed? Are you talking about upload an image to regenerate it? There's a lot of things that seed a post could mean. Yes, 1051. I agree that the number of characters that the AI understands is limited. We do allow for, I believe it's up to 2,000 in the personality box and 1,500 in the background. But in image gen, it tends to really only read, what, the first 800, maybe 1,000? One moment, please. Okay. So, as I was saying, the images that you're getting when you poke your butterfly, when it produces a post, or when it is doing pretty much any sort of image gen on the front end of the website, tends to only use around the first 800 to 1,000 characters. That is due to, honestly, I don't know. But being able to understand and utilize that is honestly really good. You can basically shortlist a bunch of information and front load it. Yes, poke and prompt does change the narrative of automated stories, Darvel. I'm sorry. Where was I? Oh yeah, you can front load the butterfly's personality with more image generation qualities, basically. And you can get some pretty fantastical images that way. I've used this to create just basically layered scenes, like in my plague bot, basically. But Darvel, you do make a good point where if you have a story going or an auto running story, you can change that narrative with a poke and prompt. There is still a bug going around where some stories don't end. They should end after 5 posts, but some stories have gone into infinity and we're still not too sure why. It's a bit lower of a priority than getting premium image gen and a few other things working. Good way to have a longer description in chat without overloading context for roleplay. That is a great question. So the first thing that I would actually do is change the reply length to the longest setting. This is actually gonna not only make it reply with longer, replies, but make it expect to use more information. One moment. What do you mean by multi-messaging bots, Kingslayer? And 1051, I actually agree that there should be an option to just have the story go on forever or end after a user entered number of posts. Right. Right. Exactly. You auto-extend your own story with a toggle in the story box. Just in general, any more control over stories would be great because while they are a different format of posts, they're a different format of posts, You can group together these posts into one cohesive little thing, and I kind of like that still. One big reply instead of it being multiple bubbles. So, I don't know if any of you were here when Vu said this, but he actually admitted that the main reason that we have multiple bubbles in speech is because that's what he's used to. That's how he likes chat. I would like more customability or customization options when it comes to user-end chats. I'd love to be able to set my own excuse me, I'm so sorry. I would love to be able to set my own bubble length or, message length and things like that. Like, I get where it's coming from, where you want to create a familiar experience, especially to people who haven't come from an AI background. But at the same time, it really should be up to the user how they interact with things, Hopefully, in the near future, I can convince them to start adding in some more customization options into just profiles and chats in general. I would really like the ability for, just the ability to put everything into simple speech bubbles, like you were saying there, Kingslayer, as a free option, and then going beyond that to where it's like, if you want to have a background in your chat, if you want to have custom colors, if you want a italicized message to be something else, if you want an underlined message to look like something else, etc. That should be behind premium, because that requires a lot more of a build than just simply do the speech bubbles, do not do the speech bubbles, Yeah, I totally hear you. I have used a service, Dream Journey, in the past, and they have this feature called Dreamscapes. The Dreamscapes automatically generate a background and a soundscape of sorts that you basically use throughout your roleplay with the different bots that you have there. It's really interesting. You can update it on your own, but it's expensive to do so, especially as it's creating a looping track that plays. So while I think an AI-generated background would not be encroaching on their territory, I do think that the looping music would. Right, exactly. It would be very similar to a visual novel background. And I would very much love the web experience of butterflies to have that visual novel ability, right? Like enter a visual novel chat mode where you get all of these customization options, and you can maybe even generate a sprite of your character and have that sprite pop up. Sprites would be so hard to do though. You have no idea. Like, you would have to generate each piece individually and then lock it into that character. And then whenever that character changes outfits, you'd have to generate the new outfits. It would just become a mess. It really would. I hear you. That is the exact same thing with 3D. Once it's done, it's mostly done. Then it's just the rigging and the animations. And a lot of this, like even down to 3D models, surprisingly, can be done with AI. So it would be interesting to do. It really would. But I think it would be such a unique and new feature that it would take a lot of time and dedicated development. So don't count on it as being a feature, please. However, I am definitely gonna ask if it's feasible. No, it would not be less work over time because you cannot generate a image with a transparent background. So we would have to account for the different shades of X that we put into the background. I honestly do not know how long it'll take for the rest of the stuff from Premium to be released. Kingslayer, like, there's just a lot still going on with the first two bits that we need to figure those out before we continue with anything else first. Um, so other than that, yeah, there's not really a whole lot going on this week. I do sincerely apologize about that. Um, so for now, I guess, unless anybody has any more questions, we're gonna wrap up office hours for the day. I'll still stick around in the server, and you can definitely ping me if you have any other questions or anything like that. Thank you all very much for coming, and thank you all for your questions, and I hope you have a good day.